Jason Lamro with Coldwell Banker Commercial. If you missed the 2021 Real Estate Symposium, we recorded each session. Here I'm pleased to introduce Doug Robertson, Town of Apple Valley. Okay, next is our city manager panel. I'm pleased to welcome Doug Robertson from the Town of Apple Valley, Jesse Flores from the City of Apple Valley, City of Adelanto, Dr. Jim Hart from the City of Barstow, Keith Metzler from the City of Victorville, and Nils Benson from the City of Hesperia. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you're all doing well.
Yes, thank you.
Doing great, thank you.
Okay, make sure everyone's unmuted. Everyone's not muted. Great. Actually, Keith, good job. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us again. And we're going to go ahead and dive into our questions this year. As last year, very excited to see what changes. And let's go ahead and start off with new development in your respective cities. What's going on? And we'll go ahead and start off with Doug, if you can kind of tell us what's going on in the Town of Apple Valley.
Sure. So we have some exciting news. We finally have a new business occupying that former Lowe's building across the street from me. This absorption, I had to use that since we're on the CBC thing today. So this absorption wipes away 140,000 square feet of the town's already low commercial vacancy. So hopefully next week, Jason, when you talk about commercial space, you won't have to caveat those numbers for us anymore. So the Apple Valley,
I no longer have to cut out the Lowe's exception to show how low the vacancy rate is in Apple Valley. So Thank you for getting that done.
Exactly. So yeah, it's the Apple Valley RV and Boat Storage. It's a fully enclosed valet style storage facility for RVs, boats, commercial vehicles, and off-road toys. They have on-site dump station, freshwater fill tank, air compressor, propane, and monthly engine startup. So you can really know that your vehicle is going to be safe in there. So also just down the road, the Apple Valley Hotel and Lodge reopened after years of kind of sitting in disrepair. It's that kind of mid-century modern looking building on the south side of Highway 18. So we're excited about that too. They're planning their ribbon cutting very soon, but they are actually open already. So Jersey Mike's is going to be opening adjacent to the Starbucks at Casota and 18, right across from St. Mary's Medical Center. So we're excited about that. And of course, our Dutch Bros coffee drive-through at Navajo and Bear Valley was an even bigger success than we predicted. We knew it had a cult following, but we didn't realize everybody in Southern California was going to drive up to check it out. Folks who were from the Pacific Northwest, I guess, have been missing it. So there's still long lines, and we've heard of several new locations planned throughout the high desert, including Apple Valley and beyond. So we're also working to retain our businesses that are struggling through the COVID pandemic with a micro enterprise business assistance program geared toward small businesses with 1 to 5 employees, and we offer grants up to $30,000 for the back pay of rent, utilities, cash flow for payroll, or for services to increase or alter your business due to or opportunities that exist. And then there's a second slightly larger program for businesses with 5 to 50 employees that offers up to $50,000 for similar expenditures. So that's most of what's going on right now. Obviously, 2020 was a tough year for any kind of business expansion. So we're happy to see what we do have to celebrate this year.
Oh, that's great news. And that Dutch Bros, unbelievable when it first opened, drive by it. And I actually had to turn the corner and count the cars. I think at the peak, I saw 32 cars in the drive-through. It was absolutely insane.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there was people that I know Orlando Acevedo got stuck. He and his family were in the drive-through for 2.5 hours. They eventually got their coffees, but yeah, it was pretty crazy for a while there. It still gets busy at times.
It does. I'm glad for their success. Infrastructure and capital improvements. What do you see in the coming year?
Well, the coming year, we'll still be rebuilding the intersection there at Apple Valley Road and Highway 18, hoping to finish by the end of the year. That project adds lanes for more traffic throughput, but just at the intersection, not adding lanes to Apple Valley Road or the highway. And that it will also smooth the elevation changes, eliminating that roller coaster ride if you're going either north or south. So makes it a lot safer, and eliminates the outer highway at the intersection itself, which also, obviously will make it a safer intersection, less of a Mad Max situation there, trying to figure out who's supposed to go first. So we are looking forward to, obviously, to Victorville starting their Green Tree extension and the bridge project. It's going to have a great positive impact on Apple Valley residents. Good job, Keith, for getting that started when that last city manager must have been a slacker. He couldn't get it done. So, our water trial, that was a joke, by the way. The water trial was completed last month, and the judge's decision is expected in mid-May. But once we were done with the trial portion, the in-person trial portion, I reached out to Liberty Utilities to talk about water infrastructure planning for the North Apple Valley area along the freeway and then connecting to the specific plan as well. We've had a variety of interested parties, both commercial and industrial, in the north part of Apple Valley, and each one is kind of facing a tough water infrastructure to solve on their own. So we met with Liberty. We had a great meeting, and we're going to be getting together with multiple developers in that area that are looking to build to assist them with coming up with a system infrastructure improvement in that area that will ultimately save each of those developers money and sort of help make it a better situation up there for everyone involved, not only new development, but also the current development that's there. It's sort of maxed out right now, the pipelines and whatnot. So that's most of our infrastructure that's happening in the very recent past and into the near future.
Well, looking forward to it, especially the interchange of Apple Valley Road and Highway 18. I think I've been involved in some of those Mad Max decisions getting through that intersection. So long overdue, but looking forward to its completion. And Doug, while I have you, let's go ahead and move into housing and growth, what you see in 2021, 2022, if your crystal ball's working. I know we've had a lot of activity in the Valley with housing, and we'll start with town of Apple Valley. What do you see?
Yeah, so we, last fiscal year, we had 105 new homes built. We're on track to hit that number or somewhere around it. Again, this year, the numbers aren't huge, but there is still interest. Interestingly, as I was looking at some of the numbers of permits, just in 2021, but not even a full quarter in, not quite a full quarter in, we've had 150 solar permits issued. So solar is just absolutely booming and causing a little bit of a logjam in our permitting process. So we apologize for that. We did form a focus group that it consisted of 2 council members, 2 planning commissioners, and multifamily housing developers, apartment builders. And we met actually at Steno Design Studio for, I guess it was over a 3-hour meeting. I wasn't there myself. I get a little bored at planning meetings, but they helped to completely rewrite our standards for multifamily housing. And the exciting thing was that, if you've ever been to Steno's shop, he's got these, massive computer screens, and they were able to look, not just sort of trying to picture everything in your head. Well, what if we move the setback 10 feet here, or what's that do to the landscaping? And maybe the landscaping can be this much into the setback and whatnot. They were able to sort of do it live with a fake project. I think it was a project for another community, and see what the real impacts were to the buildable area of each one of those lots. So we ultimately, those went to the Planning Commission for a final decision. Planning Commission made a few tweaks, and it came to council last month, and the council made a few tweaks. And it actually went through the second reading just Tuesday of this week. And so in about 30 days, we'll have some new standards, and hopefully we can add to the housing stock, the multifamily housing stock in the high desert as a result. Our past standards, were really sort of prevented development of multifamily. Just there was so many rules and the overlap of setbacks and whatnot that didn't make it pencil. So we don't want to lose the quality we expect. We don't expect to lose the quality, but we do want to modify those standards, and we have modified those standards to try to open that option up. So as far as some sort of bigger single family tracts, we've had a lot of interest. We don't have anything in the pipeline yet. No one has submitted, But just based on the number of folks who have called to ask about the sort of the current status of some of our larger tracks, we know that there's interest in the area. So, and then I know that next week you'll be talking. You'll have Brightline on. So I don't want to speak too much about what they're going to be doing, but their Brightline West planning documents do show a minimum of 1,900 multifamily units, but there could be more. Conceivably, from a housing perspective only, you could live within walking distance of that train station and commute down the hill. You could even conceivably commute all the way to Los Angeles or to Las Vegas, or maybe you've got business in both. So we're very much looking forward to that, but we'll talk about that as we talk about more of the future outlook.
I appreciate that. In fact, next week we will be covering multifamily. I'm glad to see that the town of Apple Valley is looking at development codes related to multifamily. I can tell you the vacancy rate is extremely low, probably the lowest I've seen it in 20 years, and we need multifamily building in the high desert. So looking forward to that. Thank you.
Yeah, we've actually got 3 new submittals very recently. First time in years that we've had a multifamily submittal. So we're headed in the right direction.
That's great. Great. Thank you for the update. Thank you very much for participating today. Before we move into our community update from 1st District Supervisor, retired Colonel Paul Cook, I want to thank our sponsors who made this possible. Casey with Armstrong Fairway Insurance, the City of Hesperia, the City of Victorville, Southern California Logistics Airport, Enterprise Funding, Flagstar Bank, Mortgage Solutions Financial, Shannon with Saddle Rock Reverse Mortgage, and Flagstar Bank, along with our bronze sponsor, Desert Valley Hospital and Desert Valley Medical Group, and also Citizens Business Bank and Coldwell, Kennedy, and Porter. Thank you very much. Next week, tune in at 10 a.m., April 1st. Yes, April 1st. I was questioned why we're doing April Fool's Day, but it'll be a good meeting. We have Brightline West. We have a panel, Greta Seidman, Director of Public Affairs, and Adrian Scher, EVP of Rail Infrastructure, who will join us, give us an update on the high-speed rail, and also 2 community updates from U.S. Congressman Jay Obernolte and California Assemblyman Thurston Smith. We look forward to their updates. And also state of real estate in the high desert, both commercial and residential, with Bob Basin, Terry Sines, and myself from Coldwell Banker Commercial, and Chris Lamoureux with Coldwell Banker Home Source providing a real estate update. And with that, thank you for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and play the community update from Paul Cook. Thank you very much.
I want to tell you a few things that are going on in the county, and I hope all the high desert realtors are having a great symposiums. I love symposiums. As long as they don't have to talk. But no, seriously. There's a number of things that are going on, and I'm going to give you quick and dirty on some of these so you know what's going on. One of them is not in my district per se, but I think in the future it might be, and I used to represent it, and that's Barstow. And this is the North First Avenue Bridge over the BNSF Railroad. We're working with Barstow, Burlington North Santa Fe Railroad. This bridge was built in the 1930s, and it's really, really dangerous. And so hopefully we can get this done. I was trying to get some federal money that we might be able to use. And just recently, I don't know if you heard about it, but out in Ludlow, there was a huge train derailment. So some of these things are going to affect the areas, and I wanted to mention that one. Okay, speaking of trains, the Brightline connection in Las Vegas. This is high-speed rail. I think it can work. I've talked to a number of folks. It's going to be from Las Vegas to Los Angeles. But because of trying to get the permitting and everything like that, the interim connection might be from Las Vegas to Victorville, and then we're going over to the follow the 18, parallel the 18 to the Metrolink and come down through that area as opposed to coming right along next to the I-15 into Los Angeles. That's going to be great. We got a lot of hiccups on it, but we're working on it, and I think we might be able to get it done. The project, 260 miles, and 30% of the design phase is complete. We're not there yet, and where we're going to go and everything like that is going to be a challenge. The other one, Mountain Pass Mine, the corporation is MP Materials. I've been fighting this battle for years. It's in my district. It's the only integrated rare earth mining and processing site in North America. And they're going to expand operations using a combined heat and power plant that will eliminate the old diesel-based equipment, which is a big, big thing with the environmentalists. I have some issues, national security, in that right now they outsource it to China. So I can't believe we're doing this. We need these things for airplanes, defense, this and that. And we've been giving it to China. Anyway, no comment on that. But I've really been supportive. We got language written back when I was in Congress to some of the areas. So hopefully we got our fingers crossed on that. The Redlands Passenger Rail Project. This is intended to advance regional transportation, connecting San Bernardino residents to businesses, services, and I'm pretty sure it was connecting to the college out there at Cal State, one of my alma maters. So, and that was part of the reason years ago I was supporting this big time. This is the city of San Bernardino, 2 Redlands, and it's going to be transportation and hopefully maybe buses, autos, integrated transportation network. This is supposed to open in 2022. I don't know if we're going to make that, but optimistic. Another one which is really, really exciting, I think, a tunnel connection to Ontario. And this kind of shocked me a little bit. But SAMBAG, or San Bernardino County Transportation Authority, the board of directors, we gave the agency the approval, and they're in the contract negotiations with Boring company, Boring, like in previous Paul Cook speeches, Boring, for the construction of a tunnel connection from Rancho Cucamonga Metrolink to Ontario Airport. Now, the beauty of this is going to be a 4-mile tunnel underground, surface stations you come up, and believe it or not, some of the technology on that, it's cheaper when you use a tunnel than all the permits and everything like that. So we're kind of excited about that. We'll have, as I said, this is supposed to be completed in 2025. And I think you got a whole new area of transportation, sometimes, particularly in the LA area, even our own county, where you're trying to get the permits. It's easier to have a tunnel and go underneath. So we're going to follow this. There'll be more updates. I got the West Valley Connector Project. This is 100% zero emission bus rapid transits. First stage of the zero emission bus initiative, and this is the bus rapid transit system in the country. This is our second one again. Included as phase 1 is 21 stations, connect to Ontario International Airport, 2 Metrolink stations, various recreational destinations such as Ontario Mills and Victoria Gardens. I try to keep my wife out of there so she doesn't spend too much money, so she's not going to have access to them. Anyway, the project is currently in the design phase and is anticipated again 2025. The last one I want to talk to you about is Zero Emission Multiple Unit Project. ZEMU, like EMU, but with a Z, I guess. This will include the first battery and hydrogen-powered passenger train in North America. It's kind of exciting stuff. And this will service the county of San Bernardino. And you'll have, once again, there's been a lot of attention to green pathways with the roads and trucks, and more attention is being focused on our rail sites. It's in the planning stage, and simply because of the nature of it, and I'm talking about green projects, right now you're going to be able to get money for some of those things. So I give you a quick and dirty on a lot of different things that are going on. It's pretty exciting. And I'm not going to promise you and say, oh yeah, they're all going to be completed. But I'm very optimistic that we can get something that'll help us with transportation and with some of the traffic problems we have and the technology on some of these things that's here. We got to follow through, and you got to keep plugging. So I'm very optimistic about this, and hopefully this will improve the whole area in terms of the issues that you guys and gals deal with. So I'm going to let you guys get back to your symposium, and you can tell your lies. I'm always free to talk to you. And the realtors have been supporting me for years, and I can't thank you enough. But I believe in growth. I believe in doing it right. And some of these mechanisms, which I've outlined, I think will enable us to do it. So I'll be talking to you again, and I hope this helped a little bit. Thank you. Everybody stay safe, particularly your families. Bye-bye.